Hello dudes, we're back with eFootball 2025 and I have been a little bit distracted, but what I'm going to talk about today has no like expiring date. It's not about players that you need to obtain or stuff like that. Just players of the week, we talked about those, and I kind of left these guys outside the explanations. I did it for the Spanish version of the channel, but because there is a lot of people just interested in almost everything. And I think, as a general rule, nobody liked these players that much. I think maybe I'm the only one in the world who thinks these players are kind of very competitive, and probably Wendozi it's a top competitive player, plus a French player for the French national team. So he has multi-event options. But yeah, I left this video out. So today I'm going to talk about assigning low stats to certain type of players. So it's low stats for certain positions that you need to keep low in order to maximize the performance. So we're gonna talk about, well, we can use these guys. I was asked if it wasn't necessary to like raise acceleration, to put a lot of acceleration in center backs, because as a general rule I almost always show trainings with this kind of acceleration. You know, it's like 76, 72, 78, sometimes 80, but it never goes too high. So what I was telling the guy who asked was that no, it's not that it's not important. It's super important. But again, as a general rule, you are going to be unable to assign more points because there are not going to be enough. You kind of need to keep your defense above 90. And I definitely don't like players with... Oh, fuck. So now it's the stupid language. Here. Sorry for that. I always forget about the stupid language. So I don't like to have players with ball control under 70, nor with low pass under 70. I'm talking about center backs. And you need to get the physical contact as high as possible. But the important thing is that I'm always trying to remember everybody that a 35% of defense is sustained with stamina. If your stamina is too low, your numbers are going to decrease very quickly. So if you have stamina 80, by the end of the first half, your player is going to be losing quite an important percentage of points. And by the beginning, like 10 minutes during the second half, your player is going to be like falling to the ground. He's not going to be running. He's not going to be jumping. And then you're going to be in trouble. I'm talking about competitive gameplay, because if you have a Van Dijk with 78, maybe 80 stamina, and you're playing events, or you're just playing the 5th division, or the 4th, the 6th division, the 5th division, even the 4th division, you're gonna be more or less okay. But if you start playing 4th, 3rd division, you're gonna start facing dudes with very good players, and probably very good trained players. And they're gonna train players more like me. So by the end of the first half, you're gonna start feeling everything sluggish, and they are gonna be feeling everything super fine. And that's why you need to aim for stamina 88 to 92. If it's more, it's okay, just great, right? Like probably an epic player. But you need to do that. So when I explain trainings, I kind of say acceleration is just fine, kicking power doesn't matter. And again, it's not that kicking power doesn't matter, it's just I assign a lot of points to Saliba, for example, in lower body strength. With 8 points, he's still only reaching kicking power 70. So what Konami tries to say is that kicking power is not really important in center backs, because they are just going to clear the ball. It doesn't really matter. The ball is going to reach more or less the midfield. You don't need to aim. You don't need to do shit. You just need to kick the ball. So it's gonna be fine. It's not like giving a very strong kick in order to pass the security of the goalkeeper. It needs to be strong because the guy is gonna try to jump and block your shot, and if the shot is too slow, the guy is not only going to block the shot, but he's also going to catch the ball, and you're gonna be in trouble. So that's why kicking power is important in forwards, but not in center backs. It's very, very, very important in fullbacks, because the fullback needs to send a very strong, low-angled cross from one side to the field to the other side of the field. So it's completely different. You need to start learning these rules. It's basic, it's common sense, but if you are not into numbers, or you are not interested in trainings, and you just want to play a goddamn soccer game, then you might not be thinking about this, and you're gonna be hurting your gameplay. So if you don't like numbers and you don't want to like waste your time with trainings, just try to listen to people who are actually interested in the thing. I'm very interested in the goddamn thing. I really like these numbers, and I really like stats, and I really like to switch numbers and improve training. So yeah. So it's not that it's not important. If the guy could have 80, 85 kicking power, it will be just better, you know? It's just like, it's common sense. If your player could have 99 acceleration, it will be better. When you think about contact sports, with lots of physical contact, I mean, always physicality is going to be an advantage. So the more physicality, the better your player will be. If you're playing like you're actually participating in a discipline, I'm gonna call it discipline, like golf, then physicality is relative. For sure it's gonna be good for you to have a very strong center of equilibrium, strong legs, and flexible waist, a very good capability to twist your like waist and shoulders, and to give that centrifuge power to the hit. But you won't be needing speed or acceleration. it's just pointless, and physical contact, whatever. You're not sure you're going to be standing, you're going to be just standing there. Now, in a sport like tennis, you don't have physical contact, but you, for sure, you're going to be in the need of speed and acceleration, but not physical contact. You see? So there is a logic behind different sports. And football, American football, basketball, you need all the basics, the basic stats. So physical contact, jumping, kicking power, acceleration, speed, strength, balance, stamina, defense, which is just common sense. All right, so I'm going to show you examples. Tony Adams is one of the best defenders in the game. But when you see the numbers, for example, he has no defensive engagement over 90. You could reach 90, but you will be sacrificing lots of points, and probably you're going to end up losing either physical contact 90 and jumping 90, or you will be losing stamina 90. And the same as Saliba, you lose stamina 90, and you're going to start losing the other numbers during the match, and it won't be that good. Plus, you need to remember always that stamina reinforces physical contact reinforces jumping, and those three things reinforce general defense and speed, because he's gonna be stronger while clashing in high-speed chases. So you need to remember all those rules. Tony Adams will last the entire match, and if you have defenders with lots of defense but no stamina, like the general Van Dijk, there was a player of the week like 2-3 weeks ago that had stamina, and that's why it was one of the best cards ever. But as a general rule, he's around 78, 80. That will force you to substitute Van Dijk during almost the beginning of the second half. That will take one of your substitutions. And you need to watch my building a team from scratch and the substitution system, but that will end up hurting you, because then you won't be able to replace your midfielders and your forwards. I mean, some of them are going to be tired, and then you're going to lose the midfield, or you won't be able to attack. And playing a defensive game, it's complicated to say the least. Even worse for standard average players. And I'm one of those. So I use a very refined system, a very refined strategy that takes care of like many different points in order to make my life easier. Okay, so that's another example. So those are the numbers. I was thinking about the same could be applied to, for example, well, fullbacks like Costa Curta is not a very good example because the guy is a monster. But, again, you need to be able to chase attackers, and acceleration is only for reaching the maximum speed faster. During long chases, 76 acceleration is going to be enough. The guy is going to reach the speed, and then acceleration is not going to be that important. And Costa Curta is going to be able to catch the opponent. So you don't need that much acceleration. A very high acceleration is better when you need to move in shorter spaces, like the kind of movement and space that the AMF controls, or even some attackers like, I don't know, Messi or Romario, Baggio. They kind of move in a small space and they need to move fast, turn super fast, like very quickly. And so when you train guys like Costa Curta, you can keep those numbers low in order to push very important stats like stamina. And if you're wondering, I don't have more defense, you could have more defense, but if you give Costa Curta more defense, he starts losing defensive engagement. I mean, he gets stuck in 99, and you can go tackling 85, 86, 87, 88, but you will be losing 4 points in defensive engagement because that's the maximum amount. So if you do that, that's a bad decision. It's not a good way to train players. You should not go beyond the limit because you start losing one of the stats. And yeah, that's not the maximization of the performance. The same way, you are not gonna push acceleration in center backs. Well, the same could be applied to, let's say, jumping in very short players. There is no point in trying to push the jump because this guy is not gonna make it. There are some other examples in which you will be able to give a short guy a very high jump and it's going to work. For example, Davids jumps 90, but he has physical contact 96 and stamina 100. So his jump is going to be very powerful. And I keep winning aerial balls with this guy. He's 168. So it can be done, but you need physical contact, you need some balance, you need stamina, and of course you need a lot of jumping. So yeah, remember that. Guys like Gyökeres, they work kind of like defenders, for example, when it comes to balance. This guy has a lot of balance. He has 70 for a center forward with a big body. But check my best forwards. We have like this guy, 65. He's even kind of slow when it comes to acceleration. But this is one of my best players because he has jumping 99, physical contact 95. It's very good. But, maybe you see this training and you're going to be asking me again, like, oh, wait, balance is not important in forwards. Yeah, it is important, but whatever you do, you won't be able to reach a great amount of balance. For example, let's see, dexterity 5. I have to give him 5 extra points. 5 extra points! 5 extra points destroy the entire build, the entire training. There is a lot of points here and here, but if you fucked up the physical contact and the jumping, you lose the jumping 99, then you end up with a player that nobody likes. Because Kluivert is not one of the best epic players around. The only one that thinks Kluivert is one of the best players in the game is me. Probably. So that's why you need to understand, well, first, what is it that you're doing? And second, how many points will it take to fix that balance? Well, in this case, it's too many. So that moment, you say, okay, so I'm not going that way. I'm not going that way. It's pointless to try and fix the lofted pass. It's just too low. Impossible to fix. So it's not important. But it's not that it's not important, it's just not important in a center forward. Well, Drogba is, he has also balance. He's super slow and his acceleration also sucks. But again, impossible to fix. Impossible to fix. You need to destroy everything if you try to push the acceleration, especially the acceleration. Maybe the kicking power, you could remove some jumping or some physical contact and you will be able to give him 80 speed. But again, he's too slow, he's too heavy, and he won't be able to move like properly. So you have to put all your chips in jumping, physical contact, and heading. This guy is going to stand, properly prepared to use his body to jump and head to hit with the head and score. So that's what he's prepared to do. If you don't play this guy like this, then it's not worth it. You should not use this guy. Either way, I like this card because he plays. He's a Galatasaray player, the Turkish league. If at some point the Turkish league comes back, it's gonna be very useful. But okay, so this video was about that numbers that you should not worry about when they are low in certain positions. Again, Roberto Baggio, he has no jumping, no problem. He's 174, his jumping sucks, he's never going to be good at jumping, but at least you have to keep the physical contact 75. 2025 gameplay demands a basic amount of 75. Sometimes it's impossible to attain, and if the player is too good, then you will have to deal with it. For example, what happens with Son. He's one of my best players, and I cannot fix that physical contact. So you have to deal with it. At least his jumping is very good. Okay, so that's that. And then other numbers that are not very important. Let's see this guy. No, not this guy. No, this is not a good example. Well, sometimes you can, it's not recommended, but if you have a player like N'Golo Kante, he's really bad at finalizing, like finishing. Then you have to be able to balance like pros and cons. Is this guy good enough to just defend and not give you the chance of attack? Well, in my opinion, yes. So then you proceed forward with increasing the power of everything that is good, leaving what is not good behind, just finishing out of the way, offensive awareness out of the way, physical contact, a basic 75, jumping doesn't matter because he's never going to be good at jumping and he's 168, and even if you are good at jumping, heading is beyond impossible. But of course, it's not that it's good that he has no finishing. Hey dude, like, would it be better for him to have finishing? Well, yes, of course. It would be amazing for him not to have non-dominant leg precision medium, which fucking sucks. But in this case, it doesn't suck that much because he's not going to be finishing. And for the passes, if you add outside curler, it's gonna be more or less fine. Anyways, Kante is complicated because he also doesn't have kicking power. So it's one of the best cards in the game, but it's not meant for my main team. An amazing player for the French national team for events. And yeah, it could be part of a main team, but he has too many little problems. All right, so I want to explain only that sometimes you will be in the need of keeping some numbers low because of the amount of points you can distribute, and you will have to deal with it. That's why trainings are so interesting, because you need to decide what is it that you're gonna be keeping below desirable. And it's difficult. Sometimes it's very difficult, even more for me, because I don't like to see certain numbers, so that's kind of crazy, completely fucked up. But you know, it can happen. There are also, and one more thing, there are also certain skills that you need to keep in, you have to keep attention for those skills, because I'm going to use Kante again as an example. This guy has no use for finishing, so as a general rule I will be using a DMF, even a CMF, with soul control and long range shooting. But you have a guy with lots of passing skills and lots of defending skills. If you try to add the shooting skills, you're going to end up losing too many places, too many spaces, and you also going to be kind of wasting them, because he's never going to be good enough at shooting. But you can reinforce the passing and reinforce the defense, and you're going to end up having a monster for recovering the ball. He's going to recover the ball, he's going to give good passes, and then other guys could take care of the scoring. So basically you have N'Golo Kante, you're going to go for blocker and acrobatic clearance, and then you can add outside curler, low lofted pass, and something else, maybe pinpoint crossing or soul control, or long range shooting. It will be some of those, maybe one time shot, but it will be kind of weird, but one time shot maybe, I don't know. So remember that there is also rules for the skills, because you're going to ask, it's not important to have every skill. Yeah, dude, it's very important, but it's impossible. You can only have 15, and sometimes even 15 are not enough, and it's just like that. You will have to decide which one is the most important one for the position and the play style. And you know, it's just like that. All right, so I wanted to give a little explanation on why you tend to keep certain numbers low. And yeah, I hope it was kind of useful. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have questions or doubts, opinions, send them to the message section. And that's it. I'll see you next time.